Good afternoon, Professor Allen and fellow classmates. My name is Paul Cook, and I'm here to tell you about something that is very important and it affects all of our lives. And this topic is distracted driving. Distracted driving consists of texting and driving, talking on the phone, looking at your GPS for maps and directions, looking in the mirror, eating and drinking, adjusting your CD and or radio. My stance on this is all drivers need to be aware of distracted driving and they need to take steps to minimize the risk for themselves and others. I'm asking you today to listen to the statistics and the story that I have to tell you and to decide whether that one phone call, text message, or glance in the mirror is worth the cost of a human life. To start off with, here are some statistics. Texting and driving makes a driver 23 times more likely to crash. Drivers talking on a cell phone are 4 times more likely to crash. Talking on the cell phone while driving can make a young person's driving reaction as slow as a 70-year-old's. Studies have found out that texting while driving causes a 400% increase in the time spent with eyes off the road. While distracted driving is a growing problem among all ages, it is a bigger problem among the younger generation, and that would be the teens who have just started driving, and they are the ones who have the less experience on the road. Statistics show that drivers are more likely to have an accident in their first years of driving than any other time, and over 3,800 teens between the ages 15 and 20 are killed in crashes each year. It's the number one cause of death from this age group, while over 300,000 are injured. According to the Center of Disease and Control, a government agency which records and compiles statistics about deaths and injuries in America, drivers under the age of 20 are the highest number of distracted driving incidents. My conclusion is that teens are already new to the roads and they don't need to have a cell phone to distract them and cause injuries or deaths. Another reason for the recent risk of number of distracted driving incidents is the increasingly dependence on gadgets such as cell phones and GPS systems. Although we are all victims of using our GPS to drive around, which makes driving a heck of a lot easier, I just want you to be aware. Here are some statistics that I would like to cover with you. According to the study, there have been over 16,000 distracted driving deaths between 2001 and 2007. While cell phones ownership increased from 33% of Americans in 1999 to 91% by 2008. That's a huge leap. Between 2001 and 2008, the number of text messages sent each month increased 110 times from 1 million per month to 110 million per month. According to the CDC, 1 in 3 Americans say that they feel less safe on the road than they did 5 years ago. And the distracted driving was the number one reason people say that they felt this way. And this is what I think as well, and this is why it's important. As Americans use more and more portable technology, we are becoming less safe on the roads than ever before. And it's just a part of life. I feel like, we're all victims of distracted driving. We just have to handle it more smartly. But as compelling as the statistics are, however, it is important to know that the price we pay for distracted driving is devastating to victims' families. These victims are more than just a number, they are real people. And I will discuss why this is such an important topic to me. Just recently, my aunt got in an accident, and she is 50 years old, and it was because she was texting and driving, and she ran into a family vehicle that had a baby on board. The 2 parents survived, but the baby died. And now my aunt is living with this, and she's struggling because she it's hard to live with this, and it affects everybody, just not the family, but it affects my family as well, because we feel sorry for them, and we're worried about our aunt who's having to deal with this problem. Um, my conclusion is that victims of distracted driving are more than just a number. They are real people whose families have to live with the consequences every day for the rest of their lives. Uh, some recommendations that I give is that you should park the phone before you drive. Talking on a cell phone or texting is the leading source for distracted driving. Manage your time. Drive defensively. Look out for those distracted drivers. And ride responsibly. If you see your driver doing this, tell them to hang up the phone. And above all, set a good example for your kids. Um, if we want to prevent this, we need the younger generation to catch on and stop it. It's kind of like with seatbelts. Back in the day, parents, when they were kids, the seatbelt was optional, but then it became a law, and it affected everybody. And the kids, it's just second nature for them to get into a vehicle and just strap on their seatbelt, whereas back then it wasn't. Hopefully, if we do this with distracted driving and cell phone use, it could carry on. And so far, it kind of has been. In Maryland, they just passed a law um, setting fines for policemen catching distracted drivers on the cell phone, and there's a hefty fine, and nobody wants to pay those. I urge you to take a pledge today that you will not text and drive, and you'll do everything you can to prevent that type of accident. One pledge at a time. Drivers everywhere can make the road safe for all drivers. I appreciate you for listening, and I hope you have a wonderful day.